Hello, everyone, and welcome to Radiant Pearls Ministries. I'm Jeanette Bradley.
And I'm Jill Wyckoff.
And I'm Justina Sanchez. Thank you for joining us today. We have a special segment to bring to you on friendship. And I have some of my very best friends here to join us. So we want to start off with knowing, what are some of your favorite Bible scriptures about friendship?
That's a good one.
It is a good one. Well, mine is Luke 7:47. Submit to others in love, granting them forgiveness. He who is forgiven much loves much. And I have so been forgiven much.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Mine is Colossians 2:12-14. It says, "So as those who have been chosen of God, holy and beloved, put on a heart of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, bearing with one another and forgiving each other. Whoever has a complaint against anyone, just as the Lord forgave you, so also should you. Beyond all these things, put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity."
I love those. Those are beautiful. Mine is Ecclesiastes 4:9 and 10, and also 12. It's 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls, the other one will lift up their companion. But woe to the one who falls when there is not another to lift him up. And 12 says, a cord of 3 strands is not easily torn apart.
That's right. So good.
So 3 as in 1, 2, 3?
The J Crew?
Well, God is definitely the foundation of every good, lasting, faithful relationship.
Yep. He's woven in between all parts.
That's it.
So I want to ask you ladies, why would you say friendships are important, and why did God give us friends?
All right, you first.
I'll say friendships are so important, and I think God knows, well, absolutely he knows that, but we're relational, and he's a relational God, and he gave us friendships so that we can do life with people. They're so important, and they're so foundational, and it's just so instrumental in our lives all the way around, our growth, who we are, and really to be there to love, to encourage, to support, to pull each other up when we need it, to bring each other up.
Yeah, I love that. It's like even when you were talking, I had the image of Moses with his Aaron and his Hur, holding his arms up. We absolutely need each other. God is Trinity. He's 3 in 1. He's all about relationships, right? And so he's blessed us with relationships, and for giving and for taking, for giving and receiving, and it's how we model him.
And he calls us friends, right?
Yes.
So I believe that the Lord created us to be in fellowship and to be in friendship with him. And so the things that he gives us, it's what he desires also. So because he wants to be in fellowship with us, that he encourages us to be in fellowship with each other and gives us that sweet relationship as well.
It's beautiful, and it is important. I mean, he sent people out 2 by 2, didn't he? You know, don't do it alone.
Even the animals, 2 by 2.
Exactly. Exactly. So I have a question for you, ladies. What are the important qualities that you look for in friends?
Someone who's trustworthy and operates out of grace, not being judgmental. Someone who's selfless, and a big one for me as well as trustworthy is somebody who's safe, a safe person. They care about you, and they're not trying to put themselves above you.
That is you, by the way.
It is.
All those things
That
are
is
you.
very much her. That is very much her. I agree. A lot of those. Somebody who honors the other person. Somebody who shows humility in the relationship. and, like you said, trustworthy, and somebody who communicates well. You communicate well with each other, and they're accountable. You know,
so good.
Yeah. So those are qualities to me that are very important, and she definitely carries those.
So I actually had a friend post this question on Facebook, and she had a lot of responses, and I actually wrote down some of the responses. So we're getting from a lot of different people these responses.
So good.
Unoffendable, engaged, time for one another, being real, supporting each other, honesty, happy for your success,
Yes.
loyalty, love, caring, consistency, unconditional love, grace, laughter, which is a great one. We do that a lot. Honor, respect, trust, healthy boundaries. That's powerful. Truth and love. Another person put brutal truth. So brutal truth and truth in love, understanding, forgiveness, communication, like you mentioned too, perseverance through the trials. I love that.
Yep, to be there through the good,
Exactly.
the bad, the fun, and the hard.
Exactly. And someone who listens. I think that's important.
Those are all very
Yeah.
good. Now, the one that's glaringly missing is a dessert lover.
Oh my goodness!
I don't know how nobody put that down.
Dessert lover is huge. And the other one that I would add is fun.
Yes.
Because, you know, you have to have fun.
You have to have laughter.
You have to have
That helps you
laughter.
lose weight too.
Keep those ab muscles
Right,
working.
so you can laugh and then eat more desserts.
Laugh while you're eating dessert, and then as you're gaining it, you're losing it. It's perfect.
Oh,
I
brilliant.
see why I love you
heard
ladies
it
so
here
much.
first.
So how would you say that you can invest in friendships?
Well, I think that's really important, and so I made a list here because I feel like that's
Good.
really, really important. Mutual vulnerability, forgiveness, gratitude, and back where we were talking about forgiveness, be the first one.
Yes.
Be the first one. Say, I'm gonna
Yes.
forgive you first.
Yes.
I love that.
I feel like an attitude of gratitude positions your heart for everything. That doesn't just go for friendships. That goes for everything in life. But that's the way to start. And then thinking, how can I serve them? What
So
can
good.
I do for them to make their life better? Because I always am so grateful for what the Lord has done in my life, and I always think, okay, how can I make that person's life better? You know, like any relationship in a marriage, right? I don't have to be in a marriage, but if I am, how can I make that person's life better?
Right.
How can they make mine better? And look for the good in others. I think that we have natural tendency to pick each other apart, but look for the good in others and elevate them above yourself. And like you were saying, be excited for their success.
Yeah.
Yes.
And truly have that joy and that excitement for them. Want them to do better than you. Push them out in front of you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Reserve judgment. I pray about that one all the time because I'm so quick to, I think in our flesh to go, oh, like, she did that wrong, or she said that wrong, or he did this wrong. And so that's one that I ask the Lord to help me with all the time. I think it's really important that we bear each other's burdens, and that's one of the reasons that the Lord gave us friendships, because love heals, right?
Yeah.
And when we come alongside friends, that helps take that load off. So you're not doing it by yourself, and knowing that you have people to walk through that with you does make it better. It does. It doesn't necessarily always make it go away, but it helps a lot for sure in the process. Seeing them through God's eyes.
Yeah.
Because when I see people through my eyes and my blurred lenses, I could find any imperfections in me or anybody else, but the Lord doesn't want that. Like, He wants us to see other people with love the way He does. And so for me, it has, over time now, it's easier for me to do that than to try to see them through my eyes, because that's not a good way to do it.
So good.
Anticipate what's important to them. So actually taking the time to invest in them. What does she like? What does she think? How do you think she's going to feel? about this or about that, and truly care about investing in them. A lot of times we want to say, oh, I like this, or I want to do that. What about them? What is important to them? Take the time to really think it through, just like we do for Christmas. I know when I do for birthday gifts or any type of gifts, I really take time, and I will not give a gift unless it's that special one that they know that I thought about it. And I feel like we should do that in every day. Like, stop and just take the time to say what's important to them. Invest in them. So that's time, talent, treasure. And we're investing right now in ourselves, in our friendship, and with the others out there too. We're investing in them and praying for them. Praying with them and for them. And I know that for our ministry, we pray every week, usually 2 or so hours, and it goes by so quickly. And I feel like that really has continued to bond our hearts together, just bind them together. And then the last one that I have is look for nothing in return. And that's what God does, right?
Yeah.
That's how he loves us. He does it because he loves us. And he's not waiting for us to give him things.
Beautiful.
That's so good. Even that you were able to actually meditate on that and write it down and verbalize it. So we're all sitting here going, yeah,
so
that's
good.
so true, but we wouldn't have necessarily thought that originally. You know what I mean? So just hearing this stirs things up in us. It's so good. And what you just talked about was so valuable. Every one of those points are so valuable. I was talking to a friend this week who was talking about her friendship with a younger person. There's 15 years age difference between the two of them. And she says it's kind of striking that we have this great friendship with the age difference and some of the other differences. But they have, what she talked about was intentionality.
Yes.
And she said, we both have come to this relationship with the same expectations for the relationship.
Yeah.
We both honor it in the same way. And we're both intentional. It's interesting because they're both introverts. They're both introverts. And so to be intentional, to get out of the house when you may not feel like getting out of the house, but loving on the other one, seeing to their, to what makes them happy.
Right.
And they're thinking about, oh, let's do this together and let's do this. They're making plans. They're putting it on the calendar.
Yes.
They're very intentional in investing in each other. And I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
I agree. And you were talking about the age difference, and there actually is an age difference. Justine is a smidge older than I am. But we do invest.
Just a smidge, right, Justina? Just a smidge.
Just a little bit. But we are very intentional and put stuff on the calendar. And everything she said, she truly lives out.
She does.
Truly does.
She absolutely does.
And so do my friends.
There you go.
And we were talking earlier about your circle of friends. How you have different levels of friends, and some you have a few here, and then some out there, and some out there, and why we have some that are closer and some that maybe are not so close. And I loved what you said about you would have more friends in that circle if you had more time.
If I had more time.
Because you want them all there.
Because there's so many people I love.
Yeah.
I would love to love all of them, but we just can't. We're just not built to. We don't have the time to.
But I just thought that so beautifully showed your heart.
Oh,
So sweet.
You are a very special friend.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts, that leads us into the next question, on special friendships? And what do you think makes some more special than others?
okay. That's a really good question. So I'm going to tell your viewers a little secret right now. So after I saw them a few weeks ago, I said to them, you guys have the most amazing special friendship. You really need to do a show on friendship. And here we are.
Yeah.
Because not all of us have encountered people who have such an incredible friendship and who model it so well. And that's why I really wanted to talk with you and to have you talk and share your heart with others. So the thing about Justina and Jeanette is that obviously that you can see the relationship that they have. And we've all known people like that that are thick as thieves, that are just two peas in a pod, all those other things that you can describe them. And we've known friends that are so close they're become like a little clique. That is absolutely not the way you guys respond. So when I entered into this friendship with them, they expanded their heart to include me. That to me was the most unusual thing. You obviously have all of the things that you've been talking about, you have between the two of you. But when the two of you get around others, you are so gracious and generous with your hearts. It's an invitation to come in. And that is something that is so unusual and so beautiful. So when you're with them, you don't feel like you're standing outside of their circle. You feel invited into their circle. And that is really special and very, very unusual. And it's an incredible feeling to be wrapped in your arms and experiencing what you two have to give as friends, and to invite me into that is a beautiful thing. And it really shows me the power of true friendship.
Amen.
Yeah.
That is so sweet.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you for saying that. I am so grateful to hear you say that, but you're so lovable. And you're fun.
That too. No, that's. But you're so funny. But I've literally seen them do that with everyone. So it's a very, very special thing, and it's something we could all learn from. So when we're together with our close friends and we're meeting new friends, especially people for the first time or people that are entering into, like church, right? Mm-hmm. So church, you see people come in for the first time, and to be able to extend that to them where they feel invited, where they feel like they belong, is powerful.
Yes.
Is powerful, and it's God.
It is.
It's God expressed through you. It is the light of Christ.
Sharing His love and making Him feel included and welcomed.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're called to do, right?
That's what we're called to do.
Love God, love people. Every person, not just our favorites.
Exactly.
Yes.
Although you are one of our favorites.
Well, and vice versa.
So talking about favorite friends and friendships, what are some of your funniest friendship moments?
No, I don't have one to share. I do want to share a special one, but not a funny one. So I know you have a funny one.
Well, I have a few funny ones. I wanted to share a favorite one, though. I'll let Justina share a funny one. I want to share a favorite one.
Okay, so, I want to share a favorite one. You share a favorite one. You share a funny one.
Okay.
Will that work?
Yeah.
All right, good. We figured that out.
For a very special birthday, a landmark birthday, we went on the K-Love cruise. And so we had to fly from San Diego into Florida. And then we stayed the night there, and we got up the next morning and went to go board the ship. And we were in line, we were getting up near the front, and Justina couldn't find her passport. And so we stepped aside and looked. She said, I just can't find my passport. So we ended up having to get out of this very long line that we waited in. We went outside and we were digging through everything, and we cannot find her passport. So we went back in and explained to them what was happening. And so they sent us up to the desk, and they said, well, you either have to have your passport or you have to have your birth certificate, neither of which we had. So they put us in a holding tank, and in that holding tank, we were able to encourage other people and pray for other people. We were there for, I want to say, about 2 hours, almost 2 hours, and the realization had began to set in that we probably weren't going to be able to get on the cruise. And we were in Miami. We had no hotel room, nowhere to go except for on the cruise. We had called everybody. We had called the registrar to try to get records, but it was a holiday weekend, so they were closed. We prayed, and then we cried. And Justina kept saying, just go. I don't want to ruin your birthday. We had someone else we were meeting there, and they were already on the ship, and she said, just go. And I said, there's no way I'm leaving you. I don't know where we're going to stay tonight. I don't know what we're going to do or what we're going to eat, but I am not leaving you, because she is way more important than that cruise. And it was in those moments that our hearts really were joined together, because we were able to see what love really looks like.
Yeah.
And we knew that we were more important to each other than a cruise or anything else, that she's valuable to me. And I felt like in that moment that our hearts united in a way that wouldn't happen if we weren't in that situation. The way that story ended was, although her mom had given her the only copy of her birth certificate that she had, another copy miraculously appeared from nowhere. And the ship was closing its door at 5 o'clock, and at 4:59 we went running on board, and they always take your picture, and so we have these makeup drop pictures of us getting on the ship. But that's probably one of many of my favorite moments with you.
Oh, I remember that too. And that was literally love lived out. I felt terrible. It was a big birthday and we were going to have fun. Like she said, we had nowhere to go, and we're sitting and holding, and I felt horrible, and I kept saying, just go have fun, go enjoy your birthday. And she literally showed me what love looks like. She wouldn't leave without me. And that meant so much. And I'm just so grateful for her. And I'm so incredibly grateful we got to get on and go. Thank you, Mom. We had the best time ever, and made so many more memories. Thank you, Lord. He did. He miraculously planted that. And like she said, it was a holiday weekend. Or it was a weekday, but it was a holiday, so everything was shut down. And my mom was digging through the garage and miraculously came across a box that had an envelope that contained another copy she never knew she had. That was so the Lord.
Yeah.
So incredibly grateful. We sure have had so many fun times together. And when I think about some of the ones that put a big smile on my face, there was this one time we went to a concert out in Arizona. And we had rented a rental car. We had this bright red Camaro. And it was awesome. It was one of those fun cars. And so we were outside of the venue, and we're checking out the car, and we popped the trunk, and we're like, it's huge! This trunk is huge! We could fit in there.
Yeah, how huge is it?
So we jumped in and we closed it, and we totally fit in the back of this Camaro. That was just one of them. I can think of so many we've had, so many dessert adventures that were just full of laughs, and I'm so incredibly grateful.
I have to share one more. We went to dinner one night with my son, and he was driving and his girlfriend was in the front, so the two of us were in the back, and they said, oh, they're sleeping, it's pretty quiet back here. So we decided that we would pretend that we were asleep. So we said, let's take a picture. And so we took a picture of us asleep. She posed for the picture, so she has a big grin on her face.
We're like, who sleeps with a big smile on their face?
It was a natural reaction, and so she goes, I'm going to take a picture of us sleeping, and I go, oh, that was funny. That was a good
That's
one.
awesome. I love those stories. I have a great, to me, a very poignant, powerful story of a friend who listened to me and knew me. And when my father was, I don't want to bring this all down, but when my father was passing away, she was so sweet, because I would spend the days with my dad, and I'd come home and then get changed and go back. And one of the things that she knew about me, two of the things she knew about me, I love dessert, right? Specifically chocolate.
Yes.
And I love to take baths. That's my relaxing And I would complain every now and then, oh, if only I could take a bath just once without having to clean the tub before I get into it, right? And I came home from being with my dad, and there was warm chocolate chip cookies waiting for me on the counter with a note that said, your bath is all clean and ready for you.
Oh, how special.
And I mean, it's not like I had just said it to her. You know, she had known this, you know, for years about me. And in passing, I would say things like that. And she captured it, and she gave me what my heart needed most in that moment.
What I just heard was she listened to your heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
She really did. And I'll never forget it. And I don't think to her it was any big deal. Like if she was watching now, she'd probably say, oh my goodness, I didn't know that, you know, and I told her how it impacted me at the time. I don't know that she would know that years later, I still remember.
That is a sweet, sweet friend right there.
It is.
We need to make sure she watches this.
Yes, Brenda, it's you. I know you know it's you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank
You're
you,
a sweet friend.
Yes, Brenda.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is so kind that you heard her words, you listened, and you held on to them, and then you lived them out.
And you know,
Beautiful.
it couldn't have been, she could have given me a diamond ring and it would not have meant the same
Right.
as warm chocolate chip cookies and a hot bath, a clean bathtub.
That's
Amazing.
perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yes. So would you like to bless our audience in friendship?
Yeah.
Bless them in your words and what friendship means, or maybe some that are struggling to find those relationships, those sweet friendships. Would you bless our community?
So I bless you in finding sweet friendships that heal, where you feel loved and where you feel heard and where you feel valued. Friends that come alongside and hold up your arms when you're hurting, when you're walking through trials. Friends that love to get desserts. Friends that love to laugh with you. And friends that hear your heart, in Jesus' name.
And I bless you to know how much you are valuable and you deserve good friends, and you are a good friend. I bless you to express that in every way. I bless you to find good friends that will like Jeanette said, will just hold your heart tenderly, that you can share life with, and that you can have fun with, and laugh with, and have desserts with, and create with, and shop with, and play with, and all those wonderful things, and that you can enjoy life together.
Absolutely. And you know, we want to encourage you, if you don't have that, to ask the Lord. He is the giver of all good gifts, and his desire is for you to be in relationship. And so share that with him. Share the qualities that you want in a friend, and he is faithful to provide that for you. We also encourage you to go out into the areas where people like to do things that you like to do. You know, get in small groups at church. You'll find friends that are running the same direction as you, you know, to support you, encourage you, to love on you. But he is faithful. And with that, I'd like to thank you all. Thanks for joining us today. This was amazing.
Thank you, ladies, for being such wonderful friends.
And tell us again how we can find you.
JillWyckoff.com or KingdomCreativityInternational.com.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us on another segment of Radiant Pearls Ministries.
And remember, you have strength, you have hope, and you have loveliness. We'll see you next time.